Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon is probably like top 5 favorite anime for me, but one thing that we've all noticed is that there's an aspect that has been missing for quite a while, and that's the whole premise of picking up girls in the dungeon.
This title is clickbait!
It took us like 5 seasons, but finally Bell is doing what he was always destined to do, to rizz up those ladies! Much like the white wolf, our white rabbit fox. That's not funny. Season 5 is just graceful with its presence, and almost everyone is excited to be brought back into this world of goddesses, dungeons, money, and adventures. Meanwhile, I'm just happy we get more waifus.
No, not you!
Season 5 has a lot to live up to because the previous season was honestly peak. The gang gets trapped in the dungeon and literally fights for their lives as they try to ration their spells and not get tempted by beautiful women. Oh my god. As someone who hasn't read the light novel, I was very unsure of what they could even do for the next arc. And then lo and behold, this one random waitress we saw like twice in season 1 is actually a bigger deal than we could have ever imagined. Oh my god. Yeah, remember her? The lady who liked Belle from the beginning? I didn't. Belle has to go on a whole training arc on proper manners and etiquette in order for him to go on a date with Seer, because that's what the season needed more of. And it's funny to think about, but he really has no experience in any of this, huh? I think the only date he ever went on was with Miss Aina back in season 1, and they just went to go get Belle a new armor piece. So this is completely different than any monster he's ever faced. In episode 1, we see all of the Hestia family and they're all just hanging out on the couch, and it's announced that Lily and Haruhime both have leveled up, and we pretty much just enjoy this little bit of downtime we have with these characters as they celebrate, before someone just decides to jump Belle and attack him out of the blue. He must have been jealous he got so many waifus. This guy is seriously on another level. He casually just throws Belle to the side and starts slinging spells at him. And not only is he able to keep up, he fucking styles on his ass, twirling his spear and fully using the smoke to his advantage when Belle counters attacks with his firebolt. This guy is on a whole different league. And it's funny because after what we saw from the previous season, I could have sworn that Belle was super OP, being able to survive and beat such strong monsters even when he isn't even supposed to be capable of it. Yet somehow he still gets his ass kicked. It's surprising, but it's clear that he still has a long way to go, and I love that about him. Belle is still growing, and yeah, he has an OP power which lets him use his passion to supercharge his attacks, which helped him grow at a crazy rate, but now he's with the big boys and these people have been training their entire lives for this. Meanwhile, Belle has barely gotten any training. And color me surprised when this guy decides to train him, but no, not in the art of swordplay or dungeon hunting, no, in the art of RIZZ! Bro, sign me up for this class, I want to take it. Episode 2 is all about the training arc, so this mysterious person who beats Belle's ass takes him to the cafe and literally threatens him every 5 seconds. Honestly, I was a little annoyed at his attitude. Belle was still trying to figure out if he even wants to go on a date with Seer in the first place, but this guy's like, nah man, you going. you ain't him, illusion of choice, bitch. I honestly wonder like how much of a threat is this guy? Cause not going along with this could possibly mean the death of not only Belle, but his entire familia. We already had a small war game in season 2, but that ended pretty well and had no real casualties. So if there was gonna be any sort of battle, could he actually like defeat Belle and like kill everyone? Moments like these, I wish I could see how Hestia would react with such a big threat to familia, but sadly Belle is kidnapped for like a week and doesn't get to tell anyone. Belle has to learn how to walk with books on his head because apparently that's important. He learns history and literature, and then he gets smacked around for talking too soft or too loud. It was funny at first to watch, but now I just feel bad. Never mind, it's funny again. I love that he's pulling out the bouquet of flowers like it's gun training. And finally, Belle picks up some girls in the dungeon! We did it! We finally did the thing! That's the name of the anime! We did it! It's so cool to look at this because I remember Belle being insanely afraid of women, honestly same, that he would always act like a mess around anyone, but that was part of his charm, you know? Though I definitely don't miss it because seeing him act like a Chad is just so cool. And this is exactly what he's always wanted too. Like if you remember back in season 1, this is what his goal ultimately was. Until he gets zapped because apparently he isn't supposed to seduce women. Well, what are you teaching him then? Low-key though, it's actually some really good advice. If you take away all the abuse, you know, you always care for the lady, mind your posture, compliment and smile, say nice things. I love how when he starts eating the crepe, he's like, alright, this is where I highlight my childish side by stuffing my cheeks so I'm more cute and honest, but I also gotta mind my manners and stay clean. And then he pukes everything out. I never knew that about Belle. I didn't know he didn't like sweet things. So Belle goes on his date and absolutely sweeps her off her feet, completely taking the lead, holding her hand, complimenting her, making sure she is safe and not getting hit by carriages. And honestly, I feel kind of bad for Seer. She tries to pull her tricks and tease Belle, but he's been trained so nothing phases him. Seer kind of goes off on him because she wanted to make the first move. She wanted to see Belle freak out and be all cute and blush, but he's acting perfect. You know, way too perfect than what she could have ever imagined. And this is not what she wanted. Like, this is not who Belle is. Honestly, you can argue that these episodes are pretty boring, but we have Best Girl Ryu! She's so cute in this episode, and it honestly stung when she found out that Seer asked Belle on a date. She really looks defeated. It honestly kind of hurts to see her act this way. Which is strange because before season 4, she was kind of this nothing character. She was cool, but hadn't had much explored about her yet. All we knew is that she was powerful and she was sort of well known for this dangerous adventurer. So when we finally got to know her and hear about her tragic past, I absolutely fell in love with her character. She might just be the best written character actually. And yeah, some people may be upset that, oh, she's part of the harem now. Like, let's be honest, it's hard not to like Bell. Yeah, he's the typical kind MC that we see all the time, but it's his actions that really show who he is. Bell isn't the most well-written character, as he's pretty samey in one note, but he has these moments of optimism and passion that makes you want to keep going. He's super easy to talk to and be friends with, and yeah, he can be awkward, but he's got that heart of gold, and if it wasn't for him, I really don't think Ryu could have survived. I know it is impossible for anything to happen between them, but I still wish something will come out of this. Honestly, I'm still very salty that he confessed to Hestia at the end of season 2. I feel like he was forced to do that. This is fucking bullshit. Especially like we were already setting up the possible romance between him and his crush Ein Wallenstein. It's not that I hate Hestia, I just think she's completely insufferable. Like, I like that she's super clingy and she has this attitude of like, I don't let anyone touch my man, but like, my gosh, she's just a little much sometimes, you know? I wonder what's gonna happen moving forward, because I can only imagine how conflicted Ryu will feel about the situation when she finds out more about Seer. Maybe Ryu will try to protect Bell, maybe she'll side with her friend, maybe she already knew from the beginning and just didn't say anything. It's hard to say. Honestly, I'm kind of excited. I hope Ryu can get more screen time even if it's not her season. Honestly, I doubt this whole season is just gonna be about the festival and their date. It's clear that there's more than they're leading on. I mean, my first thought when they were showing the signs that she was tied to the Freya Familia was, wow, it feels like they kind of tacked that on, huh? Cause like, there was no signs of any of this, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, this character's important. I'm not opposed to the idea. In fact, this world has so much to explore when it comes to everyone's backstory and their ties to different familias. I mean, like, take Lily for example, she's a perfect example of this. At first being nothing more than a thief, showing how life has been hard being tied to the Soma Familia. Everyone has a story to be told, so I'm very open to what Seer can possibly introduce for this world. From what we can gather from episode 1 and 2, Seer seems to not really know if she was like into Bell, if she really liked him, as she explains in the beginning of episode 1, where she says that she gradually stated to like him more and more and got jealous whenever Bell would talk to other girls. She then tells us, can I be free from the shackles of goddesshood? She also makes it clear that she wants to prove to herself who she wants to be. It sounds like, much like Lily, Seer is trapped in almost the same way. Obviously not in the same circumstance, if anything is completely the opposite, but same idea. While Lily was bullied and neglected, it appears that Seer is valued a little too much. So much so that they watch her every move and she personally has to ask Freya to attend the festival with a date, only for Freya to agree, but on the circumstance that if Belle ever finds out the truth, then Seer never gets to see Belle ever again. It's a very interesting exchange. When Seer first proposed this idea, Freya looks visibly upset, like almost pissed that anyone ever asked this question. I mean, go back to earlier in the episode and you see these people saying that they can't get rid of Bell, they can't just get rid of him, because if they did, that would mean bad stuff would happen to them since Freya has her eyes on him. Clearly Bell is very important for some reason, yet Freya agrees and lets Seer go on a date with him. I assume it's because Freya knows that everyone will find out eventually, or maybe this is just part of her plan to bring Bell closer to Freya. It's hard to say. Regardless, it's a very interesting interaction. Freya is really hard to figure out what exactly she wants and what she plans on doing, and we still don't really know anything about her, other than like, yeah, that's pretty much her character. She takes what she wants and she's very mysterious. There's a lot that could happen in the season. I'm very excited.